أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. I give prayers and salutations upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and upon his companions and family members and those who followed their footsteps. Ameen. Today we'll talk about where the lesson is from Sahih al-Bukhari, the Kitab of Wudu, the chapter of Wudu, the book of Wudu, the category of saying Bismillah on everything, even when having an intercourse. Saying Bismillah on everything, even when having an intercourse. So Imam Bukhari said, Babu at-tasmiyati ala kulli halin hatta باب التسمية على كل حال وعند الوقاع. وذكر بسنده عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما يبلغ به النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: لو أن أحدكم إذا أتى أهله قال بسم الله اللهم جنبنا الشيطان وجنب الشيطان ما رزقتنا فقضي بينهما ولد لم يضره. Imam Bukhari mentioned his chain of narration to Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma. He lifted it, or he mentioned the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if one of you were coming to have an intercourse with his wife, and he said Bismillah, Allahumma jannibna ash-shaytan, Bismillah, with the name of Allah, O Allah, keep away from us the shaytan, and keep the shaytan away from what you have provided us with. فَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمَا, and then there was the ordinance where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained for them to have a child through that intercourse, that the shaitan will not touch that child, or the shaitan will not harm that child. So first of all, the tabweeb, or the categorization, where Imam Bukhari said Babu tasmiyati ala kulli shay, meaning saying Bismillah on everything. It's not necessarily very precise, because there are some things that we do not say Bismillah on, and Bismillah has its specific areas, specific places where we say it. But al-wudu, for example, there is a difference of opinion on, and the reason why he brought this and wudu is as if to say, if we're not, even if we're saying Bismillah when you're having an intercourse, then saying Bismillah on wudu is even more important, or is more preferred. Now the scholars have differed on whether or not, have differed on the ruling of Bismillah at the beginning of wudu. Some say it's a prerequisite for its completion, meaning wudu is valid but not complete without Bismillah. Others, they say no, Bismillah is a prerequisite for its correctness, meaning wudu is not valid unless you say Bismillah. And of course the best opinion, or the most correct opinion, is that it's not complete, so wudu is correct but not fully complete unless you say Bismillah. And that's because there is no authentic hadith that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say Bismillah at the beginning of wudu. As mentioned by Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he said there is nothing that is authentic on this particular topic. لا يثبت في هذا الباب شيء فنسبتها إلى الرسول. So it's reference, or referring Bismillah to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It would make you feel like, yeah, I have to say Bismillah. But if it's not attributed to the Prophet ﷺ, then you're like, okay, maybe I don't necessarily have to say Bismillah, and maybe my wudu is correct even if I don't say Bismillah. So what's more likely is that it's mustahabba. It's recommended to say Bismillah, and this is because the Prophet ﷺ used to say Bismillah on everything, and it's likely, or it's highly likely, that he used to say Bismillah at the beginning of wudu as well. So what does it mean that the shaitan will not harm this child? So if a person says Bismillah at the beginning, or Bismillah at the time of having an intercourse, some scholars would say it after they completed their intercourse. So if a person finished the intercourse, they would say Bismillah. Allahumma jannibna ash-shaytan wa jannib ash-shaytan ma razaqtana. Others would say it before beginning the intercourse. So what does it mean that the shaitan will not harm that child? If Allah blesses them with a child, that the shaitan does not harm them. That means that either harm is physical or spiritual. Right? It will not harm them. That harm is either physical or spiritual. Some scholars say it's only physical harm, and the proof for that is when the Prophet ﷺ said that when a child is born, that the shaitan pokes them in their rear end or near their waist area, and this is why some children, when they come out of their mother's womb, their rear end is greenish or dark. And some say that some say that it's spiritual. It's a spiritual harm, that the shaitan will not harm them spiritually, whereas they will be raised and they will live as Muslims. Wallahu a'lam. What we know is that lam yadurru, when the Prophet ﷺ said that the shaitan will not cause harm to that child, it's general, whereas it means it has the possibility of meaning physical and the possibility of meaning also spiritual. And Allah knows best. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with beneficial knowledge. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us to be of His dedicated servants. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in iman. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us to follow what's right and avoid following misguidance. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.